Okay, did he cheat? One thing I want to say is this is a little different than the Mike Postle situation. When the Mike Postle situation was going on and people were saying, oh, there's no proof, you're accusing him of cheating, there's no proof. What they meant was there's no confession. There are ways to prove things without confessions. I can't stand when people say that, there's no proof. The results of the hands was the proof in the Mike Postle situation. Here it's different. I mean, it's real tough to say without inspecting the cards. I would love to inspect the cards myself, or I don't know if anyone did, but the cards are some great evidence to decide whether there was cheating going on or not. But there are two things, and I watched a Doug Polk video. I saw a lot on Twitter about it. There's an aspect to two things that he did at the table that I don't think people are talking about enough. So here's the first move.
He lifts his fingers up and the cards stick to them as his fingers come off the table.
So my hands have been like less than dry when I've been playing poker before. I'm sweating from being outside in Vegas, hopping casinos. I'm just sweating because I think it's too hot inside. I have like a drink, a bottle or a glass that has some moisture on the outside. Like, I've looked at my cards, I've touched my chips, I've touched my cards, and especially during Corona when they were spraying the cards and the chips with the sanitizer mist. My hands and the cards have been less than dry. I've never had them stick to the cards like they were in that picture I just showed you. It's odd that the cards were coming up and like sticking to his fingers momentarily. I've never had that even with the sanitizer, which is more, you know, than just water. On the side of a glass, it's just water, but that was strange. And again, I would like to inspect the cards. I can't. I would be suspicious of whether there was some kind of a streak on the card, and when it was across the table, the lighting indicated to him that he had left a mark on the cards. Don't know if that was happening or not, but that would be one of the reasons I would like to inspect the cards. I know people have just said, oh, there's something sticky on his hands, there's something sticky on the cards, without going into it in depth. So that would be odd, because other people eat and they're very untidy at the table, and like I said, I myself have been sweating or holding a glass with moisture on the outside, and I've never seen cards stick to anyone's hands, myself or someone else's. The second thing, which if that was like an anti-defense for him, this is kind of pro in his defense. Here's the picture I want to show you.
As he's folding the cards, he's scratching them as he gives them back to the dealer.
I do that all the time. So sometimes there's like a little dirt on the cards, and I'm actually doing it for the opposite reason of cheating. I'm trying to make the game fair for everyone, because I'm sure if there's like a tiny amount of dirt on one card, I'm the only one who's noticing that. And I try to like scrape it off with my fingernails or a chip. Sometimes the action around the table is going quickly and action's on me, and I'm kind of folding as I'm doing that. I'm trying to get the card clear so that there is no mark for anyone to see. There was actually a time in 2020 in the Horseshoe Baltimore, a bunch of cards had a mark like that, and they weren't scraping off. And I was telling the dealer, and the floor was replacing it, and one guy was getting mad at me for like slowing down the game, and another guy came to my defense and said, you're not even noticing that the marks are on these cards. He is, and we're getting cleaner cards so that no one can tell what the differences are. Like, you should be thanking him that he's noticing all these and bringing it to the dealer's attention. So I scrape cards all the time, not to mark them, actually do the opposite, to take a little bit of dirt. Whether it's hand shuffle or a shuffle machine, you know, there's just a lot of people touching these cards, touching chips, touching like their shoelaces, touching their food, touching their drinks. The cards get dirty sometimes, and sometimes there's a mark on them, and I scrape them off all the time to try to clean them all up. So I've never heard anyone say that. In this guy's defense, that could be why he was doing it. Again, without inspecting the cards, it's tough to tell, real tough to tell what the reason was and if the cards had a mark on them or not. But I do that all the time, and the reason is so that there's no chance anyone has an advantage.